to the drama castle. Overheard them mention hater, not a pretty word like moist or moisture. Wanna quit, but you know I'm a soldier. Try to get me out, you know it's game over. Say it's toxic, chaotic, unhealthy. Always play my cards right, don't test me. I'm not here to play nice, no I can't be. And if you're trying to stop me, that's a guarantee. Too many people try to get me out, and it worked for a second, but I'm back now, better than ever. Welcome to the drama castle. I am your drama queen, and welcome to the drama castle. You try to stop me, but you can't. Too many people try to stop me, but you can't. You can't.
Let's get it right. This is it, my friend. It's the last straw, the final frontier. This is the end, my friend. You've gone too far. You've gone too far. Ranking Ranger, old enough to know better. Power Ranger, old enough to know better. Green Ranger, said you about to save the Power Rangers. He said he about to save the Power Rangers. And you've gone too far, living in a fantasy lying, and you don't stop lying. Ranking Ranger, old enough to know better. Power Ranger, old enough to know better. Green Ranger, said you about to save the Power Rangers. He said he about to save the Power Rangers. Yeah, you've gone too far, living in a fantasy lying, and you don't stop lying. Yeah. Ranking Ranger, old enough to know better. Power Ranger, old enough to know better. Green Ranger, said you about to save the Power Rangers. He said he about to save the Power Rangers. You've gone too far, living in a fantasy lying, and you don't stop lying. Yeah. Ranking Ranger, old enough to know better. Power Ranger, old enough to know better. Green Ranger, said you about to save the Power Rangers. He said he about to save the Power Rangers. Ranking Ranger, old enough to know better. Power Ranger, old enough to know better. Green Ranger, said you about to save the Power Rangers. He said he about to save the Power Rangers.
What up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. Okay, I get my days mixed up. Anyways, welcome to the show. How y'all doing? What up, Nerdette? How are you, gorgeous? And I see a chef is in the house. You gonna cook it up for me, or am I cooking today? I'm probably gonna be cooking, I always be cooking. So, anyways, this week I've been going pretty ham on this stuff that's really goofy at best, but it's content, right? And oh man, Henry's just giving me some gold this week, some comedy gold. Man, I will say Henry is the gift that keeps on giving. If you guys don't know, Henry Resilient, he is a YouTuber on his main channel. I believe he has over 50,000 subscribers. On his second channel, a couple thousand, but that channel is sometimes popping because he's been covering heavy the Power Ranger drama, meaning the Power Ranger community, Power Ranger actors, all the controversy surrounding it. Believe it or not, I know you're sitting here listening to me like, Power Rangers has drama? Power Ranger actors have controversy? I haven't heard about it. Well, then you need to go subscribe to Henry's channel, because he be covering it. He gets scoops and everything. He's had Jason David Frank's wife on there. He's had a lot of people like from that community over there. So if you're really into the Power Ranger tea, You got to be going over there and sipping on it. But anyways, because of Henry's coverage, just like any community, just like any YouTube content creator, there is always going to be a massive like film like developing around the cup that is Henry. And it's always drama. You know, Henry has accumulated a lot of haters. Hell, even some of the Power Ranger people he talks about don't like his ass. Like you mentioned his name in that community now, he got a bad rep with them actors. They scared of him. They do not like Henry. And it's because Henry's not afraid to spill the tea. You know, people don't want their dirty laundry aired out, and Henry is not afraid to air out that dirty laundry, which is something I definitely respect. And one thing I also respect about Henry, I know it sounds like I'm glazing him, but like he does kind of deserve it because Henry is that type of content creator. He gives everybody a chance to speak. So if he has a story on an actor, he'll try to reach out to that actor and say, "Hey, listen, I got this story I'm putting out, but I want to get your side of it." So I mean, most YouTubers, they get a hot story, they don't even care about the other person's side of it. They're just going to immediately run that scoop and get all those clicks and views. Henry will go above and beyond and actually reach out to the people and give them a chance to tell their side of the story. Now, most of the time, they tell him to go F himself, but at least he tries. You know, I give him credit. He has the balls to be in these people's DMs like, hey, I'm about to drop the story. Mind you, after the fact that a lot of these people don't like him, they block him, right? But he would still, even if he did a story on somebody, he would never block them. He wants that open communication because he wants that person to be able to tell their side. And a lot of these fans out here, I'm sorry, haters, don't get that. They don't get that about Henry. They don't acknowledge that about Henry. They don't even like respect that thing that most people like. I have never seen many content creators do that. They don't move like Henry. You know what I'm saying? Henry will do an expose piece on you, but he'll still be like, hey, you want to come and talk about this? You want to come tell your side? You want to come debunk any of this? He gives them the chance. A lot of YouTubers don't do that. They'll be like, nah, I'm going to run the story and keep it pushing. Usually YouTubers get contacted by the people that they cover and fight with them because the person's like, I want that, take it down. Now, Henry will let you speak. That's one thing I will always respect and appreciate about Henry, right? So y'all know we've been talking about this dude, Rican Ranger, who a lot of y'all don't know. By the way, he did respond to me in the form of, apparently somebody sent me a screenshot of his little Instagram. That's where his little Dear Diary really is. He's trying to transition from Instagram diary to YouTube diary, but I'll talk about that too, because this actually relates to this. And I tell you, I think the Rican army is growing, y'all. he's getting the most exceptional people to fight Henry and all of Henry's associates. So I think that's great. By the way, thank you, Dust, for $10. Damn, you streaming while I'm working. I will catch the playback. Everyone else like the stream. Yeah, my bad. I figured I'd do it now since I want to, while it's all fresh in my mind. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Suspect 13, hello, how are you? So I woke up and, you know, do what I do, check my stuff. I saw Henry posted a video, and it isn't he's reacting to a video made about him a month ago, right? And you would think, why would I care about something made a month ago, right? Because it's interesting because the comment section and things that are said, and this is, like I said, this is what these people think and do, and I think it's hilarious. So we're gonna react to it too. We're gonna react to this too. Hopefully my internet holds up. We'll see. Let's there we go. Boom boom. If he dares go live, it will end well for him. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I think I've made it very clear to everybody, you know, all my haters through in the past, like, I love it when y'all respond to me because that means I get to respond to you. And because I'm monetized and they're not, I'm getting paid for it while they're doing it for free. You know, I get super chats, I get ad revenue, and they don't get shit. All they do is go on there and talk shit and maybe attract a few people who don't like me and try to, like, again, gain a big group of people to come after me, but like, I don't care. Again, I'm monetized or not. I'm looking at it like I'm making money. That's what it comes down to. I'm making money having these fights with you. I'm using you for content. You're making content because you legitimately have issues with me. I personally don't care that much. Like when I go to sleep, I'm not thinking about any of the shit I talk about on this channel. I'm not sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this Rican Ranger. No, when I go to sleep, I don't think about these mofos. You know what I'm saying? I only know Henry through you, and I'm a Power Ranger fan and don't care what other people's opinions are. Exactly, as people really shouldn't when it comes down to it. Like it's okay to have a discussion, have a different opinion, but people really get very passionate and very angry about the stuff. Like don't get me wrong, I do too, but I don't get to the point where I gotta be like I got beef with Henry. Right. I've had disagreements with Henry. I've had disagreements with how Henry has covered things in the past. I've had disagreements with certain things, but I don't feel it's neat. It's like my opinion is not going to change how I feel about Henry as a person. I've gotten to know him. I would consider him, I guess, an online friend. You know, I know Henry don't be doing that friend stuff like that, probably for the best because that's a smart thing to do. But I would consider Henry a friend. Like I think Henry's cool. I respect him as a content creator. I respect him as a person, and I think that he is a genuine person. You know, people say, "Oh, he's fake." You know, Henry literally does not have to take time and give any of us any of his attention or his time. Right? He makes content. He has a job. He's a father. He has things going on in his life, but he spends time with the people that is in his community. Like in Discord, he'll hop in VC while he's working on a video. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll come in VC, talk to his people. He tries to help smaller content creators who want the help. He spent time with me that I never really utilized. Sorry for wasting your time, Henry, but he did that. He didn't have to say, hey, like, I think you have talent. I want to help you with your channel. Like, this is what you need to do. This is what programs you need or whatever. This is what would probably help grow your channel. Henry does that. Henry's not too big to like stop and help people. That's just who he is. But a lot of these people just see Henry as this tyrant because he covers these topics and exposes people, right? But like I said before, he gives these people, he exposes a chance to speak. It's not like he just drops a scoop and then fucks off. He's like, nah, he messages them beforehand. Hey, I got the story. I just want to get your side. And then most of them just tell him to go screw himself, run the story. Okay, that's exactly what he does. So how dare he? Right. If you ask Henry for advice on anything, he would spend a few minutes to help you out. That's just who he is. But don't forget, he's a bully, guys. He's a bully. But anyway, this is another person who is oh, I love this right here already off the bat. I make clickbait videos on the Power Ranger actors because I have no talent and I just want fame. That is crazy. I again want to remind these people, especially this person, Henry had a channel, his main channel, that he has established and grown before he got into the Power Ranger stuff. And it was not like I would say you had an argument if Henry's views on that channel went down, right? But his views on that channel, his main channel, have been pretty consistent. He's been doing pretty good on that channel with his videos, right? And then he decided what most YouTubers do when they get to a certain size, right? A lot of them do make secondary channels to cover different topics, like, maybe on Henry Resilient, he just wants to focus on videos. So all of his videos go on that channel. And then he does his live streams on another channel. So he has I found out the other day he has 3 channels, but the 2 ones that I know of are the Henry Resilient clips. The Henry Resilient clips is where he does his live streams primarily about the Power Ranger community. So, and it's not clickbait. I know he says clickbait. It's not as clickbaity as they want to make it sound. But anyways, let's listen to this guy. Let's get his take on our good friend Henry and why he don't like him.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk about this YouTuber named Herny. Some of y'all might know him, some of y'all might not. But this guy, to me, I think he's starting to run out of material. His show is good when he's dissing the Power Rangers, unfortunately. But any other video he does is kind of stupid.
Okay. Let me just stop right here. I just want to say, sir, when you are a commentary YouTuber, which is what you can categorize Henry as, right? He does commentary. He talks about hot topics, YouTube dramas, whatever tickles his fancy, right? But there's never a limited amount of content for commentary YouTubers. We can talk about anything. We can make anything into content at this point. So when he's saying that, when people say that commentary YouTubers are running out of material, that's impossible because there's always something. Every day there's some type of drama online, right? Or some kind of controversy that drops. There is never a limited amount of content when it comes to commentary YouTube So no, he's not running out of material. It's just he found a topic that a lot of people care about, but also like it's a topic that like yeah he's specializing in right now. This is his new project, you know. This is his new grift. So I don't see what the issue is. Like, so what? He's talking about Power Rangers stuff. Like, it's not like he's running out of content. Again, these are people who don't like. They must have been introduced to Henry just for the Power Ranger stuff, but they've never looked at anything else he's ever done. So they only see Henry Resilient clips. They don't see Henry Resilient channel, the main channel, the one with the red logo, not the green one. You know, that's the one you guys should be looking at because that's where he's making a lot more views. He's getting like 20,000 views, 50,000 views on his videos on his main channel, but they're only focused on the smaller channel and think that that's it for him. That's all he does, which is kind of crazy because you would think like how this man grow so big just for the Power Ranger stuff? Nah, like look at his other channel, you goofballs. What up, Shay? I see you in the chat. This dude needs the inhaler. Y'all are so mean. We are bullies.
If he watched this video, hey Henry, bro, if I was you, I would just change your name of your channel to I hate Power Rangers. Just do diss Power Ranger videos because when you're not dissing the Power Rangers, your videos are dull and boring. I think
They're dull and boring. He needs to change his name to Anti-Power Rangers. You know, Henry, listen, I am a Power Ranger fan, like OG Power Ranger fan. Do I love the Power Rangers? Was I a fan of the shows? Would I watch the new stuff that comes out, like the one that David Yost and Walter Jones put out, you know, Once a Ranger? Hell yeah, that stuff was great. Those are my childhood years. That don't mean that I can't shit on some of the actors because the actors aren't Power Rangers. They're actors. They did a job. And if they out here acting stupid, and again, I have personal experiences with some of these actors. Okay. Hi, my name is Ray. I used to be very close friends, and I used to run the fan page for Christopher Kamen Lee. Hi, how you doing? And I got some stories. Okay? Just because I have some stories and a bad experience with people does not mean that I hate Power Rangers if I speak on those experiences. Okay? Henry is covering news about this stuff. Doesn't mean he's a hater of Power Rangers. Henry, a grown-ass man. Henry, when was the last time you watched a Power Ranger show? Henry, when was the last time you watched a Power Ranger show, sir? You can't say that somebody's a hater of an entire franchise because they're calling out. And hello, let's look at the people he's called out, right? Because he's going to get into the one person he has a real problem with Henry calling out, right? But he's called out Austin St. John, who played the Red Ranger on the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Why did he call it Austin St. John? Well, Austin St. John committed fraud, and he has been recently sentenced for that fraud. Is that not newsworthy? Do the Power Ranger fans not have a right to know that the person that they idolized and that they go to conventions, travel, spend all this money, spend money for his autograph? Isn't that like something that they should know? That Austin St. John committed fraud and is now serving time in jail for it? How about this Hector? I don't know his last name. One of the actors from one of the newer seasons of Power Rangers. I think he played the Green Ranger in one of the seasons. He assaulted an old man. 5 years probation. That's what Austin got. Right. Damn, no jail time? Damn, that sucks. One of the Power Ranger actors assaulted an old man. Caught on camera, assaulted an old man over a parking spot, right? Because he parked in the handicap spot. Don't you guys want to know, next time you see that guy at a convention, to have the option if you want to give him money, knowing that he's kind of a shitty person for that? Let's see, who else did Henry expose? Oh, right. All right, and Power Ranger actors, let's see, who else did he expose? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of on the lines of like how the news covered the story about the Wild Force Red Ranger actor murdering his roommate. Oh, I guess the news hates Power Rangers. I guess the news must hate Power Rangers. Mainstream news hates Power Rangers. because they exposed and covered the story about how an actor who played a Power Ranger killed somebody. Let's put that logic this man said onto everybody who calls out these actors for their own bad behaviors. They have to just hate Power Rangers to do that, right? Y'all got some parasocial relationships with these actors, and it shows.
You would get your subscribers and your views up if you do that. But this is the reason why I'm making this video, because he was talking about Sky. If you don't know who Sky is, it's Jason David Frank's daughter. He was talking about Sky today, saying that she used to like basically try to take advantage of disability people or try to take advantage of people back in 2017.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Right, bro, give me YouTube advice. Yeah, facts. What's wrong with calling that out? Now, here's the thing, right? Again, these are supposed to be fans. If you are a fan, that's one thing. But if you're a fan, you're going to talk about shit you don't know about, don't talk about it. Sky Frank, obviously, Jason David Frank's daughter from his first marriage, right? He has kids with his first wife. There were a lot of issues that were not very known throughout the community until, guess what? Guess who made all of the drama between that family and Jason David Frank? Sky did. Sky Frank made all of that shit public. She made her feelings known about her father very publicly. She did a music video. She's a rap. I think she's a rap artist, a singer. I mean, not throwing shade at Sky Frank. I just don't know what you would label her style. It's like a little bit of like rap and singing, right? She did. That's how I got first knew who Sky Frank was, from her music video about her dad. Okay, they didn't have a great relationship. Okay, that was made publicly known by Jason David Frank's daughter, Sky Frank. She put herself out there. She made the issues known. It's public. It's public information, right? So I don't understand why she's exempt from criticism. I don't know why any of her behaviors are we have to just look past it. I think that's kind of crazy to think that she is not allowed to have anyone have an opinion on anything she's doing. Okay? Label as bad auto 2 304 rapper. I don't know what a 304 rapper is, but I'll take your word for it. You know? But let's continue.
Lying and, doing fraud stuff to get money. And she was 19 at the time. I just think...
Guys, she was 19 at the time that she did all these shitty things, so she gets a pass. She gets a pass. Guys, did you know if you did really awful, shitty things when you were 19 years old, now that you're older, we just don't care. We just gonna let that slide. That's all right. You were 19. You didn't know better. Right. 19 is an adult. And I think it's good to know about these things. You know why? Because, again, context matters, guys. Why is Henry exposing this about Sky when it was so long ago? Henry, get over it. Why do you care? Oh, right, because current day, after Jason David Frank passed away, what is Sky Frank doing? She's selling merchandise to people. She's doing con appearances, making money, right? So it might be good for the people to know, and the fandom especially, to know that she has committed fraud. That's kind of an important thing to know. Now, I'm going to say, I'm going to put my hands up because, like, not trying to throw shots. I'm just pointing out the facts here. Is that whether it's true or not that she had committed fraud, it's still a good thing to note, right? And Henry always brings receipts. It's not like Henry just says, yeah, and when she was 19, she committed fraud. Well, how do you know this, right? Henry brings receipts. Henry brings receipts. So, again, why is that bad for Henry to point out that somebody has committed fraud about when they were 19 when it's possible, what he's basically implying is like, yo, be careful. She's done it in the past. She might be still doing it type thing. Like, hey, this is a warning. There's nothing wrong with giving people a warning. Now, it's up to people who watch it and consume Henry's content to decide what they want to do with that information. He's just putting it out there. He's not saying, guys, don't give her your money. It's like, nah, this is what she did. Like, I wouldn't give her my money, but if you want to, go ahead. Like, Henry ain't counting your pockets. He don't care that much. Like, he just saying, like, this is the information. Be careful. Not like he's gonna sit there and, like, if he really, really was trying to, like, get people to not give her money, he would be harping on that point every time. Guys, how many times I told you, stop giving her money? No, he tells a story, he moves on to the next one. There's nothing wrong with putting out information, guys. Like, what the hell?
I just think this is disgusting. Why mention something that happened like almost 7-10 years ago?
Bro, because she's gotten away with it 7-10 years ago. And it was never mentioned until recently. Again, do we have to go to the murder analogy I gave a couple times? Like, if I killed somebody? Hello, O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson got away with murder for how long? R. Kelly got away with what he was doing for how long? 30 plus years? Just because you didn't get caught then doesn't mean it's not notable to bring it out and say, hey, you got caught now. Like, what? This logic is so, like, my brain cells, I swear to God, they're dying. I feel them in my brain.
She was 19. She was a kid. You know how many dumb things I did as a 19, 18-year-old kid?
Oh, Lord. 19 is young, and you could consider that still a teenager. But at 19, you should know better.
I didn't really know who I was as a man until probably 28 to 30. I just don't like this because we all know how Jason David Frank passed away. And I just feel like you're tarnishing his legacy by calling out his daughter that she did something ridiculous when she was 19 years old.
Again, a person who does not know the relationship between Jason David Frank and his kids. Like, you don't think that her like committing fraud on people using her dad's name isn't tarnishing his legacy? You don't think that for a second that maybe, someone who's famous's kid doing that with your name attached to it, basically, that's not tarnishing the man's name. That's not hurting his reputation. That's a little crazy.
Are you serious, bro?
Are you?
I would love to see the skeletons in your closet.
Oh my God.
Usually people like him that always put other people's businesses out there probably have helly skeletons in their closet.
Only skeletons in Henry's closet I have ever heard people bring it up is the stuff that Rika Ranger is pushing about that whole situation with this kid, and that's it. And even so, again, yeah, if Henry had skeletons in his closet, he already know. If anyone found out, it's coming out. So what? Here's the thing about this logic, and I've said this many times, right? A hypocrite can still call another hypocrite. It's hypocritical, but if there's facts, right? So just because I myself have murdered someone in the past, again, this is a analogy. I'm not actually saying I murdered somebody, but I like to use the most extreme analogies for these situations. If I murdered someone, right, in the past, and I've, whatever, that's my past, okay? And I saw somebody murder somebody else. Should I not call out that murderer? Should I not be a witness to that crime because I have committed the same crime in my past? You know what I'm saying? That's these guys' logic. Like, if you have skeletons in your closet, that don't mean you have any rights to say anything about it. No, if you have facts to back it, yes, you do. Like, it's a hypocritical thing, sure, but at the same time, like, you can't use that as a justification of what your point is, sir. There's no way you can use that as a justification. Like, you can have skeletons in your closet. That's fine. You could also call out other people in Skeletons in Closet. If it comes out, all people are gonna say is, "Wow, Henry's also a fraud." Wait, you called out Sky Frank and said she was a fraud. Well, she still is a fraud, but like you're also a fraud. That's all that conversation is gonna be. I don't think you're making the point you think you're making, my friend.
I just think it's tacky. I don't know about y'all, but I've been going to Comic-Con for years. Don't y'all think Comic-Con even feel weird knowing that Jason David Frank is not in any of them? Don't it feel like Comic-Cons, it doesn't feel as great as it used to. It feels like it's missing a soul. And that's Jason David Frank.
Ugh. Ugh. Listen. Yeah, it's sad we're never gonna see Jason David Frank at a Comic Con. But yeah, Jason didn't create Comic Cons, yes. And also like Jason didn't go to every Comic Con. Right? But also like just because he's gone physically does not mean that he is gone. We still talk about him to this day. Jason David Frank will always be talked about. Anytime people think about Power Rangers, anytime people think about any of the stuff that he has done, he is still here. He's just not physically here, right? That's the thing, right? Is that like for fans, for me, when a person that I've never met, like in real life, and I met Jason a few times, but a person that I didn't know deeply, right? Jason David Frank didn't know who I was. He didn't know me by name. He didn't think about me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a close friend of Jason David Frank. Okay? It's sad he's gone, sure. But like at the same time, it's no different for me. I just know he's physically not here. I know that I physically won't see anything new come out of him. As far as his content, like his works or anything, I know I'll never see him again in person at a convention or anything like that. But what is the difference for me is like before all that, like I'm sitting here, and if I miss Jason David Frank, you know what I do? I'll go to his YouTube channel, or I'll go to his Facebook page, or I'll watch some of his videos that he put out there, just like a regular fan before he passed away. And now he's gone, and I know he's gone, and that sucks. But like he's making it seem like he can't go to a convention because Jason's not there. Like Jason's presence is definitely felt if you go to certain cons that he frequents, sure. But he's not gone. He's physically not on this plane, but he is still always there. And that's what people really need to really have in their heart, is like, keep him in your heart, man. If he touched your heart, keep him there. That's where he lives on. He looks ready to eat that arrow. Well, for the record, Henry's the one this guy is talking about. Henry's a sweetheart. But yes, Henry hungry. He about to eat that arrow, yes. You didn't get notification. We're just reacting to a new person going after Henry. And then updates on the Rican stuff.
Now, I will admit, I did a video on one of his daughters because she was trying to get autograph money for each con. I think that's silly because she's not a celebrity.
Okay, so it's okay for you to call out Sky Frank for whatever reason you want to call out Sky Frank, but Henry can't do it. Henry can't do it. You can call her out for fraud, right? Because that's basically what you're saying. Well, you're not a celebrity. How are you going to charge people for autographs? You're not the celebrity. I think that's lower on the totem pole than her actually committing fraud. But like by this guy's logic, nah, Henry got to stop. Henry got to stop.
But just talking about their background like that after the fan base is still hurting. I talk to fans throughout Comic-Cons or whatever to this day, and a lot of people are not over his death. A lot of people are sad, depressed, and constantly asking questions. Why?
That's funny.
So I just thought it was disgusting and tacky, the video Henry did. And if you ever ever want to be a guest on this show, explain the video or whatever, go ahead. I don't mind.
I think it's funny he says that because if you actually watch Henry's shows on his Henry Resilient Clips channel, where he does all of his Power Ranger content in his live streams, at the end of the show, after he gets to the topics, he opens the floodgates for people to call in. So instead of saying, Henry, if you ever want to be on my show, I would have been like, why wouldn't you just call in? He posts the link in his chat. Why wouldn't you call in and be on his show and confront him? That's crazy. And I'm going to talk about that shit. I'm going to star that comment, and we're going to get into that next, because again, remember in the beginning, if y'all didn't hear me in the beginning, I said this video is going to relate to the Rican Ranger stuff, and you'll understand why. You'll actually understand why.
But it's just sad that people have to do crazy things for views now. You have to go over the top. Yeah, someone always got to get made fun of, or somebody's business always got to be out there. Like, we can't just compete in like a great nature or something. It has to be like this.
Here's the thing, right? Again, this is the internet. If you are a public person on the internet, it's fair game. It's all fair game. You know what I'm saying? So yes, if you're going to put your stuff out there, people have a right to have an opinion and discuss it. That's just what it is. That's a reality of it. That is a reality. The reality.
I don't get it. I really don't, from the bottom of my heart. Right below, tell me what y'all
We know you don't get it. We definitely know you don't get it.
think. Do y'all think that Henry is right for airing out old business that happened in 2017 about Jason David Frank's daughter?
Yes, he does. Anything that people didn't know before have a right to know, especially now with Jason's passing, and everybody kind of like using that. Just gonna keep it real. Yes, he does. He has every right.
Yeah, he's clearly running out of ideas. Yeah, you're talking
Clearly.
about something from 2017. You're clearly don't know what type of content you're trying to put out. You're bored. You're showing yourself.
Showing his butt?
And I'm out.
That at the end, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so that's the video. Anyways. Oh my goodness, that was something. Now, how does this relate to Ricky Ranger? Well, you look at the comment section, like Henry said earlier. I emailed him, typed it out in the comment section, Yeah, let's look at the comment section real quick. Let's look at the comment section. Only watch his Power Ranger content on his Clips channel. Exactly. Like, that's the only that's where he does all of his content. Nobody talks about his main channel, though. They always talk about the Clips channel, right? There's Henry. There's Henry right there. That's Henry's content. Bro, leave Jason Frank family alone. They've been through enough. And I responded to it. Oh, you don't know anything about Jason David Frank. Exactly. Y'all don't. Y'all act like you do, but you don't. Y'all speaking for a man who ain't here. And y'all didn't even know him. Hello, Francis rocks with Henry. So if anyone knows Jason David Frank, it's Francis, right? Francis rocks with Henry. So that's it on that one. But here's the one that got me, right? Nerd Talk Podcast. Agreed. He's run out of ideas. He won't last another 2 years on YouTube. That's why I was like, yo, Rican found another one. Join the army, y'all. Nerd Talk in the comments say, yep, that's why I said this is related. I'm telling you. And I guarantee you that Rican caught wind of this too. I'm surprised his ass ain't in the comment section either, right? But here's something interesting, right? I find it funny because Shay brought this up. Right? Let me get this off screen because that's enough of this video, right? So Shay brought this up. She says, Ray, can you believe Rican was triggered when he chose to go on your channel last stream? Right. How you big mad, bro? You know why he's mad? Because he saw how much money I made. I told you, didn't I? You know he is coping and seething over how much money that stream got me, right? He's so mad about it. I told y'all that man's gonna be pressed as hell that I made money off of dunking on him, right? And that brings me to another thing that what came across my eyes today. Shout out to you watchers, man. See, look, they're stalking me. Well, you keep giving us people. What, private your account then? So I saw this, right? Somebody sent this to me. When you was actually fucking with her, but her background check came back worse than expected. I've had some revelations. Clever. He thinks he's funny. He's really not. It's like they're not funny. When they try to roast us, they're not even funny with it, right? So the reason why I found this funny is because he wants to talk about a background check. You know what my background check will have that yours, doesn't have, that Rican's probably has. Possibly a criminal background, drug usage, let's see, custody cases with the kids. Listen, my pee is clean. I can't. Can you say the same about yours, Rican? If I did a pee test, my pee would come out clean. Would yours? The funny thing is, when he's talking about that, he keeps harping on my body count, right? And to give you guys context about this body count conversation, we'll revisit it because I know some of y'all remember it. He had asked me how many dudes I hooked up with, right? Or how many people I slept with, right? And I gave him a number, and I think the number was like 20, right? Mind you, my age matters, right? I'm about to be 40 this year, okay? So that's like half my lifespan. If I was to have sex with one person, a different person every year, right? That's 20 years. Okay? I'm 40. That's half my years. Now, again, he making it seem like I'm my kitty cats used up like chewed gum, right? But over here, this man be bragging about all the chicks that he bagged. So it's okay when dudes do it, but when a chick does it, it's gross. Make that make sense, because dudes have this sick mentality where, like, if a chick has had sex with too many dudes, that nah, I can't do it. But dudes out there just flinging around, swinging it left and right, up, down, left, right, A, B, start, and it's completely fine. I think that's funny because, again, my DMs leaked with him where that conversation happened, where we talked about my quote body count, right? And he did say, "Oh, that's a lot of dudes. That's a lot of people. I don't know. That's a lot of people," but yet continued to pursue me after the fact. This is why this man gets called out and clowned like he does, because he just straight up lies. Don't lie on my virtual poom poom. Please don't do that. Don't lie on my virtual poom poom, because that's not true. You definitely was messing with me up until and after you asked me that stupid ass question about how many people I've been with. And it's funny because I never asked him how many chicks he bagged, right? This man probably could, for all I know, he probably could have massive amounts of STDs. I know I'm clean. I just think it's funny that this dude is so pressed because, again, he got mad over a meme. He got mad over a meme. My pee would be filled with enough stuff to get me another case. Oh, Lord have mercy. Pee in a cup, yeah. Oh, I saw Dust. Sorry, Dust. Thank you for the $20, Dust. This is just more money that Rican can't have. Right. He is so mad. This man is so pressed that he came on my stream and got me over $200. Again, $200 that could have went in his pockets if he had pretty much, focused on his own shit and stopped talking about the drama, stop taking shots at people on the internet. Move on yourself, buddy. Well, you telling us to move on. Well, why can't you? That's crazy. That's why he mad. That's the real reason why he mad. That's the real reason why he's doing this. That's the real reason why he's doing this. He's doing it because he pressed. He didn't get that money. That's crazy. Imagine being jealous of some chick that you wanted so bad, and she told you, she basically was like, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah, it's a double standards, because this is what these dudes do. Like, Rican, you know what's funny? The one thing Rican I've never heard him say is that he was a good person, right? Normally, when people get shitted on like this, at one point they say, "You know what? I'm a good person. I try to put good into the world. I don't know why these people are doing that." He has never once said he was a good person. Because he's not. And I think deep down inside, he knows he's not. He knows he's crazy. He knows he's crazy. He just don't care. He does not care. He is mentally unhinged and he does not care. He don't want to get help. He don't want to like chill out. You know, he want to talk about getting his cousins or his family members out here to beat people up on the internet when they probably don't fuck with him either. They probably know he's crazy and that's probably why they don't fuck with him. That's the crazy part. I guarantee you he called his cousins. Yeah, he admitted he wanted me. The thing that he kept denying. He kept denying it. You don't know your body count? Damn, that many? That talk about we talk about listen, I can't have people, especially men, lying on my virtual poom poom. I can't have it. It's not what's gonna happen. He's just mad because I wouldn't put out. He's mad that I wouldn't pick him up, scoop him up, and take him to a convention so he can mac. I even asked him straight up. I said, because when he was talking about this, I said, Rican, what was gonna happen if I had picked you up and brought you to that convention? Oh, we would just talk and hang out, maybe get some food, meet the Power Ranger actors. So you wasn't gonna try to make a move? Well, no. I just trying to see if we vibe because we vibed on the internet. I figured we'd vibe in real life. Nah, bruh. You was hoping I pick you up so you could get a free ride and some head or something like that. That's not what was happening, bro. This 600-pound cousin. Oh Lord, have mercy. But I saw this, I just laughed, right? And this is what's going on now. You have a bunch of people, especially in the Ranger community. Listen, one thing I learned about Power Ranger fans, and this is no shot at all, y'all, but some Power Ranger fans got problems, man. I've seen it, I experienced it. I think a lot of these Power Ranger fans do have some serious mental issues, and they do act like this. They have parasocial relationships with a property from the past. They can't let go. They can't grow up. They live their adulthood by reliving the childhood. And it's really sad. And it's sad to see these grown ass adults behave like this. It's just weird, right? And that's where the mental side comes in. You have these adults being too connected to a franchise from the 90s, early 2000s, and the projection, it's really, 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 really sad. It's really sad. Drew Danger's in the house. We love Drew over here. I've seen pictures of the cousins. He's a very large man. He's about 500-600 pounds. That's no joke. I mean, that's a big dude, though. I'd be scared. As someone who's in the fandom and work with some is why I stay in my own lane. Yeah, like I said, the fandom, I had a very, very, very bad and traumatic experience in that fandom. Okay. A lot of the fans are very controlling, feel entitled, and it's a mess. It's always has been, and it just seems to keep getting worse. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of a franchise or being a fan in general, but there is an issue when that fan, like being a fan, goes too far. A lot of these people do go too far. There's a difference between being passionate and being obsessed. Rican Ranger, a lot of these people, they are obsessed. It is an obsession for them. It is like a drug. And again, it's like really sad to see grown adults not be able to separate reality from fantasy. And that's where we're at. And this is why these people behave the way they do, because they can't separate fantasy from reality. It's one thing to be a little kid wanting to grow up and be Power Ranger. It's a whole nother thing when you're a grown-ass adult wanting to be a Power Ranger for real. That's insane. Most people grow up, out of that phase, but you're seeing a bunch of adults who did it. That's the sad part. And then what they do is they take it out on anyone who dare speak out against the toxicity in that fandom, or the toxicity of the actors, how they behave, especially when it comes to the fans, the ones that are making them money and keeping them relevant. These actors from the 90s aren't really doing anything. What has David Yost done since Power Rangers? What has Walter St. Jones done since Power Rangers? He's done a few things, but what's he doing now? A lot of these actors aren't acting anymore. They're not really doing much aside from going to conventions and taking your money. That's basically their bread and butter. A lot of these actors, not all of them, but a lot of these actors, especially from the 90s, early 2000s, that's what they make their money doing. Some of them went on to have actually good, successful careers. Johnny Young Bosch is one of them. who went on to do a lot of voice acting in a shit ton of notable animes and video games. He has a career there. Um, I think Jason Fonts, I believe, also does stuff in video games and voice acting as well. A lot of them do stuff, but some of these actors really don't. Austin St. John, what did he do after Power Rangers? He became an EMT or a firefighter, whatever it was, right? And what is he doing now? Committing fraud and being on probation for it. Like, these are things that happen. These actors are people like you and me. They piss, they shit, they bleed. They are normal people. They are flawed. And a lot of these fans don't want to see that. They just want to see Jason the Red Ranger, Zach the Black Ranger, Billy the Blue Ranger. They don't see them as people. They see them as characters that they grew up with, and they cannot separate those two things. Oh my God, I met David Yost. Yes, you met David Yost. Who is David Yost? He played a role. He played a character called Billy Cranston on a show called Power Rangers a long ass time ago. That's it. That's all these people are actors. They had a job and they did it. Okay? Why you think, and I'm going to just keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100, right? Why do you think all of these Power Ranger actors are trying to make fan films? Why do you think they're trying to do crowdfunding for money to make fan films? Because they ain't got anything else going for them. They really don't. That's why they're doing it. Because if they were, they would be doing a bunch of other stuff too. I mean, Johnny does fan films. I'm not shitting on people making fan films, but let's keep it real. A lot of these actors are not established and successful anymore. And the only reason why let's keep it buck too. The only reason why Henry even really dived into this stuff is because when he started talking about the Jason David Franks passing and all this drama that for some reason surrounded Jason David Franks passing, it opened the floodgates for all the other stuff. All the other stuff that has been gone unchecked and unspoken for the longest time. That's the crazy thing. But how dare Henry be the one to do that? Listen, I tried to do it years ago. I tried to call the bullshit out a long time ago. And no one listened to me because I was a nobody. I had no platform. I had no voice. Me versus people who are famous that everyone loves and adores versus me trying to like shatter those people's hopes and dreams about this person. Like, yeah, I was losing. I was a losing one. But you got Henry coming out and he bringing receipts. He's bringing facts. He's putting them out there and people are listening. So what's the problem with that? And the only reason why this Rican Ranger dude's got a problem with Henry, it isn't because of Henry's coverage. It's because he was kicked out of the Cool Club. That's what it is. He got kicked out. He says he leaves. No, he was banned for being unworthy. Literally, that's what it says on his ban. He banned for being unworthy. Okay? And that was because of the whole Unworthy Productions YouTube channel. It was kind of funny, whatever. But this is why these dudes are mad. Parasocial relationships. End of story. Right. Some of them have done movies they never came out with. Yeah, I agree. You do need to delete somebody's kids' pictures. That's kind of crazy. That's absolutely weird. Like having people's kids' pictures saved on your devices. Like, let's not do that. And I say that for everybody. Like, y'all got to leave them kids out of it like that. Like, it's not the kid's fault that the parents are freaking crazy. And don't forget, there are two parents in these situations, so. Still waiting for the White Dragon? Yeah, well, keep waiting. We'll see if that comes out. Like I said, I'm going to be definitely milking all these haters because this is comedy gold. It really is. And it also brings me back to the days when I was in the Power Ranger community. It really does. It brings me back to the days I was in that community and I had my experiences with some of the actors. And it was just insane. Here, y'all want some tea? I'll give you some tea. Okay. So back in the day, this is a story that I've told in Discord, but I'll tell y'all. So a while back, right? There was a girl. I won't say names. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I don't know how to say names here. We'll see what happens to this story. So back in the day, right? I'm cool with the Power Ranger actor and his girlfriend. And they had a messy relationship and they ended up breaking up. But she made and I'm still going to say it was a dumb decision. It was a dumb decision to stay on because she was his booking agent, right? But when they broke up, she chose to stay on as his booking agent, which again was a stupid idea. Everybody told her that, but she was hungry for that money. You know, she was like, I'm not going to lose a client, right? So they went to a convention, and she also booked two other actors that she had on in her business, right? She had two of the other actors. She had a Power Ranger actor and she had a Power Ranger villain. Oh no, she actually that con she had two Power Ranger actors also. One from one series, another from a different one. I think it was Catherine Sutherland also that was there. Anyways, so she booked her boyfriend and two other Power Ranger actors for a convention. Now, just like I expected to happen, her and her ex-boyfriend got into a fight at that convention. A very public, vocal fight, which resulted in, I believe, I don't know if this was specific. I know that they had a couple fights, and I know that she got kicked out of one of them, but this one in particular, they got into a fight, and she decided to not pay him his money, right? She paid the other two actors that she booked, but she did not pay him after that fight, right? So they were disputing that. Now, this actor, the boyfriend, right, was so pressed about it. He went and he complained about it to the other actor who was a friend of his about how she didn't pay him. Okay. So this guy, and bless his heart, you know, I got into it with him too about this because he pissed me off, and I'll explain why, but he meant well, right? So because the guy was bitching about her not paying him, the other actor decided to give him the money he received for the appearance, right? And then he was going to have her pay him back the money, right? So now he decided that the smart thing to do was like, well, okay, she's not giving you the money. Take my money that I earned for this event, and I'll just have her pay me what she was going to give you. She can give it to me, right? So that was his plan. Stupid plan, because you guys know what happened, right? She said, I already paid you. You ain't getting more money. I paid you your cut, right? It's not her fault that you took your money that she did give you and give it to the dude who didn't get paid. You should have just let them dispute it. That was between those two. Now, was it wrong that she didn't pay him? Yeah, she should have probably just paid him and just cut him loose, right? 100%. 100%. But they were in a relationship. It was petty. 100%. But somebody else took it upon themselves to intervene and then decided that he was going to chase her down for the money that he felt she owed him, even though that's not what happened. Okay, you gave your money to somebody else to shut him up and thought that she would give it to you because, you know, but that didn't happen. So now this is where I got involved. This dude, and this is how I even knew what was going on, right? Because he knew I was close to this girl. So he messaged me and said, hey, can you help me? And I'm like, bro, I got on the phone with him and everything. I said, why did you give him the money? You should have just took your money and minded your business. Well, you don't understand. He was, he was calling me and he was bitching about it to me. I was like, okay, well, let him bitch or just hang up the phone. I don't know what to tell you, but like, you should have never took your money out of your pocket and gave it to him and expected her to give you that money. That's just not how it works, right? It went so far that he went on the Better Business Bureau website and posted a review about that situation. And I was laughing because I'm like, but that's not what happened, bro. He's like, you know, she didn't pay me, but she did pay you. She had the receipt. She showed me the receipts too. She said, here's the PayPal. I sent him the money, right? It went through. So that's what I mean when it comes to like these stories about how these actors be doing the most, right? Until this day, he never got his money, which I thought was dumb because knowing what I know now, I definitely wouldn't have gave that other actor the money. Hell no, that dude was an asshole. That dude was an asshole. That dude's a user and an abuser. I don't know, absolutely not. But that's what I mean. Now, me telling that story to y'all about one of the experiences, that's just like a small story. That's like a minor drama related story about what I experienced in that Power Ranger fandom, right? Now, does that mean I hate the whole franchise? because I told a story about how a booking agent and an actor and another actor had some drama. Now, is that me? And that happened a long time ago. That happened in like probably 2009 or something. I don't even remember the year, right? This happened a long ass time ago. So now, should I just not bring that up? Should I not bring that up because it's old and it's people's business? Nah, it's my experience. I experienced that personally. I have every right to tell y'all that story. I have every right to tell y'all all kinds of stories. Here, you want another one? How about this for you? The same Power Ranger actor I was friends with, right? I read his fan page. I co-ran his street team, okay, with another person, right? And while we were running that street team, okay, we had the way we wanted to run that street team is it was for the fans, right? Because if you guys don't know what street team is, the old school version is you'd have fans go around the street, right? Street team, and promote the person, the celebrity that you're representing, right? So online we had a Facebook. We did it all on Facebook. You know, if you have a Twitter or an Instagram, promote this actor at his con appearances. Get the new word out there. It's free advertisement, basically. You're basically having fans volunteer their time to help you promote and advertise for that actor. That's what we had, right? So one time, right, we were gonna have the actor do stuff for the fans to thank them for their free labor, okay? And so we would always have meetings with this actor on the phone to discuss ideas or things that like he could do, like do a special live stream specifically for the fans there, you know, maybe have them have call in and like have conversations with you. You know, we were talking about giving free merch out to the people on the street team, things like that. So we would always have these calls, right? And on top of that, he also wanted somebody to help him book for him at conventions, because at the time he had an agent that wasn't doing her job. Francis could tell you all about that. Me and Francis are gonna have to get on a stream and tell y'all all the stories about how me and Francis met and the shit me and her went through with all of these people, okay? But anyways, so we get on a call, right? I was on my way home. I remember this. I was on my way home from visiting my biological father. And, you know, I'm on the phone with the actor and the co-owner, or I'm sorry, yeah, I would say he was the owner, but the person I ran the street team with, right? We're on the phone talking to the actor. And then we were talking about getting him to go to a convention, right? We're like, well, you know, he wants to go to convention. And he said to me, mind you, this is a three-way call. It's me, the actor, and the other person who is running the street team. He says on that call, guys, I shit you not, he said, Ray, we got to find a convention for you to come with me with, because I can't wait to bend you over. And I said, sir, we are on the phone with another person. Number one. That's number one. So he had no problem saying that, not only just to me, but he said that in front of another person who was listening in on that call. That made the call so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Okay? Now, again, I'm telling you this story. This happened a long time ago. According to that guy's logic, the video we just watched, I guess I have no rights. I need to just let it go, right? No, I'm not going to let it go. You know why? Because I want people to understand the type of people that they give their money to. If you know this person is a piece of shit and you still want to give him your money, that's fine. But at least you knowing he's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's my experience. That is my experience. Like I said, I have stories. A lot of people in Henry's Discord heard all these stories. They've heard these stories. The answer 06 says, like the stream, share, and subscribe. Rican and goons, leave the kids out of it for your own sake. I agree. Now, like I said, guys, the thing about these stories is, like, I don't have physical proof anymore. This happened a long time ago, but I do have witnesses. Like, if I wanted to, I could call up that person right now and say, did that happen? Did that happen? Hold on. Let me actually see if one of them's around. Hold on. Hey, are you busy? Let me see if he'll get back to me. Because the person who I was on the phone with, I still talk to this day. And he will 100% collaborate everything I just said to y'all. Oh, he read it. Let's see what he responds to. I still talk to that person till this day. And he will 100% tell you that that story I told you about the phone call is 100% true. Because he was the one on that phone call. Hold on. Hold on. He said in about 6. Oh, he's going to wrap up about 6. To quickly confirm my story about the time you were on the phone with me and that person. I said his name, but I'm not gonna tell y'all. Y'all can figure it out. When he said he wanted to bend me over. LOL. Oh, he's in work meetings all day. Hold on. Sorry, I'm texting up. Let's see if he can he can say it real quick. He's typing. He's busy working. He's busy at work meetings all day, but he could type. I'm doing a live stream now and telling my audience the story. LOL. He said, "Oh yeah, no problem. If you don't mind waiting until a bit later, I'll call you on the way home." Hold on. He said, "Damn, I would hop right on there for you." Okay, you wanna set a time, have you come on as a guest, and we can talk about it on another stream? That would be cool. I will fill you in on why later. You're the best. Okay. Yeah, that's that. Yo, if I can get him and one other person to come on the show and talk about our experiences with that Power Ranger actor, y'all's mind will be blown. Y'all's mind will be blown away. Because we got some stories. Because it wasn't just me that experienced this. There was me and a bunch of people that had their experiences with these actors. Okay. Okay. He said, yeah. He said, hell yeah. Okay. So we're gonna set that up. Me and these people are gonna come on, go on camera and name names. Okay, fuck it. So since I have the green light, since I have permission, right? So the person I'm going to be talking about is my experience with Christopher Kamen Lee. My friend Blake will come on. I'm going to try to get another person. I'm not going to name his name yet until I get his permission to do that, but I definitely want to get him on because a lot of these guys, especially, they got fucked over bad by Chris, and that needs to be exposed 100%. But yeah, my friend Blake will come on. We'll do a whole stream, get him on when he has time to talk about it, so he can tell you guys that shit happened. Because Blake was the one that was on the phone with me when wait, TJ got banned. Well, I didn't ban anyone. Anyways, Blake was the one that was on the phone call with me. Blake was the one that was closest to with all of that. He was the one who ran the street team. And after I left, a lot of shit happened with him, with Chris, after I left as well. So yeah, Blake has some stories to tell too. And Blake's a sweetheart. The thing that's sad about it is like Blake is one of the sweetest guys you will ever meet. I am so blessed. The best thing that came out of that shitty situation was meeting Blake. He is such a sweet guy, and he put up with so much bullshit with that community as well, and his experiences with Chris. It's really, really sad, but Blake is such a big old teddy bear, and I can't wait for you guys to meet him. He has got a couple kids. His son is in a band. His son's actually touring right now. Very talented young man. Fun story. I think I told you guys in Discord about the time that Christopher Kamen Lee threatened to hit one of his kids. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Oh no! 100. Here's the thing. See right there. It tracks how creepy Christopher is when it comes to fans. A lot of people overlook his behavior. I was one of the people who tried to expose that, and I got ignored. I got ignored. I got ignored. We're talking like creepy with fans. It doesn't even end there. It's like insane how I tried to expose that for so many years and no one listened to me. People thought I was a disgruntled ex-worker of his. Number one, I didn't get paid for shit. I paid for everything for him. Anything that I did for Christopher Kamen Lee came out of my pocket. I bought a laptop so I could work more efficiently and effectively for his fan page. I paid graphic artists to make promotional posters and videos for him. I was going to pay out of my pocket for the t-shirts that we were going to give to the fans for free to thank them for helping us with the street team. Mind you, Blake was the one who came up with the name Red Raider. I know some of y'all might be familiar with Chris's work over on Nerd, what is it? Nerd something, not Nerd Talk. It's the other YouTube channel that makes Power Ranger content. The Red Raider came from us. We came up with that name for the street team. Chris uses that as his character name in that that project they got. The logo, that little Red Ranger helmet drawing where it's half the Space Ranger helmet and half like all fucked up like Darkana, right? That design was created for the street team, for the shirts. That was supposed to be our logo for the street team. Now he uses that. Yes, Legacy of the Nerds. There we go. Now he used that, you know, for that shit. He's definitely stole concept art from other people. The well is definitely deep. No, he didn't come up with that. He did not come up with that. Matter of fact, we weren't even going to use, here's a fun fact. We weren't even going to use the name Red Raider because when we looked up Red Raider, there's I think it's a college football team called the Red Raiders. And we weren't sure we were even going to go with that because we didn't want to get hit with any copyright infringement. But, you know, we were like, nah, it's okay. We'll go with that. He didn't come up with Red Raider. Red Raider was the name of the street team. And that name was actually came up by Blake. Blake came up with the name Red Raiders. That's who came up with that name. It was never Chris. It was never Chris. Yes, yeah, yep. The Blake was the one. Blake was the one that came up with that name. It was never Chris. It was never Chris. Chris's former friend came up with the design of the Red Raider character. And that dude got fucked over. You know, like I said, when we talk about why Henry does what he does, is because he's doing what we all are doing. We're all exposing these people for the frauds they are. You know, and I knew Chris very well. Like, hello, did I not tell you he talked on the phone like somebody else wasn't there talking about bending me over? That's how close we were. Oh, honey, talk to me. I will tell you whatever you want to know. Because it's been a long time. This man has gone unchecked for so many years because he was on Power Rangers in Space, guys. That's it. He was on Power Rangers in Space. He was on Seventh Heaven for a little bit. He did a couple movies that were really shitty. One of them, he kissed his sister. Like, the well is very, oof. Don't even get me going, y'all. That man has done me dirty. He's done many people dirty. He is objectively not a good person. He acts like a good person. He acts like he's down to earth and cool. And for the most part, he is until, you know, get a few drinks in him and then, well, floodgates open. He talked badly about Jason David Frank. He hated Jason David Frank. He accused Jason David Frank of blocking him at conventions. That's a true story. Blake was there for that too. Like I said, Blake was there for almost every single thing that happened. So when I tell you that he can collaborate everything I'm telling you, he will 100% do that because he was there. He saw it firsthand. He witnessed it. Look at Henry. Henry is backseat driving, y'all. See, look at Henry. Enrique thinks I'm afraid of him. Nah, Henry. Look at Henry trying to tell me what to do. Look, I sat here and glazed you the first beginning of the stream, and look at you. I will see. We'll see how I'm feeling. When I do the next stream, maybe we'll see how I'm feeling. I'll pull a Henry Resilient. I gotta learn from the master, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you. I worked on Team Jason David Frank for my state, so I learned about stuff until I backed away. I'm still friends with some teammates, and that's how I learned stuff. Yep, that's how you know. Uh, immortalize yourself of when you stop, you will become an urban legend. Okay. Well, we'll definitely next stream. I definitely will, because I didn't even think about it. I wasn't even trying to even bring it up, but like this stuff is starting to get to me because it's like a lot of these people, these fans especially, they do not understand that like a lot of us have been really deep into this shit, and we know that what Henry's saying, what he's revealing, is not outside of the norm. The reason why a lot of people, especially the Power Ranger community, tend to gravitate to Henry and his coverage is because we know that Henry's telling the truth. We've seen it. Before Henry came out, we've been there. We've seen how sleazy some of these people are. It's not like we're just signing on and jumping on board with Henry. Hey, we listen and believe in Henry because Henry just said this. Like, we've seen it. It's not a surprise to a lot of us that some of these actors are doing this shit because some of us have experience with these actors. Frances, definitely one of them, has had experience, way more experience, because she was Jason David Frank's assistant. Jason David Frank's assistant was definitely around all of this shit. So if she's coming out and saying it's true, oh, I believe it, because I know me and Frances met because of all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Frances will tell you. Frances has told y'all. Like, when I first met her, she's like, yeah, me and her, we duked it out with another booking agent over this bullshit. And that's the truth. That's what happened. And by the way, that was Christopher Cabin Lee's booking agent at the time that was going after Frances, because they were trying to push Frances out because they wanted to book Jason David Frank. They wanted the GOAT, and they were never going to get the GOAT. But they tried to. They went so far as to fabricate an email from Frances. Right? They made up an email that they claimed was from Frances, and it was never from Frances. They fabricated an email and put it out on the internet, try to paint it as Frances sent that email. Frances never sent that email. We exposed that truth too. But again, nobody wanted to listen. You know what I'm saying? So trust me when I say, man, people sometimes people think that just because it's in the past doesn't mean we forget, doesn't mean that we can't talk about it 100%. Andros always struck me as a missionary guy. He didn't even want to be on Power Rangers. He didn't want. I have to find it. It's probably somewhere like buried under my old Facebook account that's deactivated. I will see if I can resurface that. But I will say, like, this was at AFO anime convention in Orlando. This is where I first met Christopher Kamen Lee, and his at the time girlfriend, and he was there with Hillary Shepard. I remember that. She's a sweet lady, very, very tiny, eats like a bird, absolutely sweet lady. But at the anime thing, at his panel, which was very small, which he was very pissed off about, by the way, he had talked about, he gotten asked, right, about, you know, him being on Power Rangers, how he got the job, and he said I never wanted to be on the show. He said I thought Power Rangers was stupid. And my manager at the time, his booking agent for his talent agent, was like, well, just audition anyways, because even if they don't like you for this role that you're auditioning for, this project, they might go back to you and find another project for you. That's like a common thing. Like, if you audition, just audition anyways, because even though they might not like you for this project, they might find another role for you in the future. So they told Chris to audition for Power Rangers, and he ended up getting the job. But he did not like it. He did not like Power Rangers. He thought Power Rangers was dumb. But he got the role, and he hated the fact that they dyed his hair. That's why in Forever Red, if you look at Forever Red, look at Andros's hair. It looks like shit because it's a wig. He refused to let them dye his hair again. So yeah, like, he didn't even want to be on the show anyways. He hated Power Rangers. He thought Power Rangers was stupid. But now, because it made him money and it keeps him relevant, of course he's going to lean into it and be like, yeah, I was Andros. I was the best Power Ranger ever. My season was the best season. He didn't even want to be on the show. So that's the funny part. Yeah, exactly. So I thought it's just funny when people like Andros, like, yeah, Power Rangers in Space was probably one of my favorite seasons. So obviously I was so happy and blessed at the time that I got to be very close with Christopher Cayman Lee, especially, he was a heartthrob back then. He looked really good back in his day. Not so much now, but back then he was very fine. So I was like, damn, I'm friends with Christopher Cayman Lee. That's cool. That was my childhood. That was my buddy. But yeah, it's like they say, never meet your heroes, right? So, and that's just what it is. But yeah, that's not a problem. Like, it's just crazy to me when you see all these fans trying to push back against Henry, and you got people like me and people like DDH in the chat sitting here like, nah, Henry's telling the truth. These are how these people are. Well, of course he does. That's all he has. That's all he has. That's all that man has. He has nothing else going for him. He don't look as good as he used to, you know. He tried and failed to make a comic book. That's how I first met him. When I first met him, what are you doing now, Chris? I'm writing a comic book. I have it. Actually, I think I threw it out. I'm not gonna lie, I think I threw it out. But I had his very first comic book he came out with. It's like the Wendigo or something. And he had some drama with his people that he was working on a comic book with. They did get an issue out, I'll give him that, but like they did not last. He did not last. West Coast Comics. That's what it was called, West Coast Comics. And he tried to do that because his passion was actually writing. That was his passion. So I never picked up the comic. Yeah, that was his passion, was comic. He wanted to be a writer, so he wrote a comic book. But that failed too. So now he has nothing else. He has nothing else but to lean into the streaming and making content. He even slowed down. He still does streaming. He plays games. That's all he does. He just plays video games. That's all he does. Plays video games and go to cons. Doesn't pay bills. So yeah. Good old Christopher Cayman Lee. I can't wait to get Blake on though. Was he part of the Power Ranger orgies? I don't know. Depends on when those Power Ranger orgies took place. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but I don't know for a fact. I heard about them though, but I don't remember when they took place. But I wouldn't be surprised. Your heroes always try to fuck you. Yeah. Yeah. Probably I didn't do college back then. Yeah, I only was able to go to one convention with Chris. And that was AFO. And that was the first time I met him. But I talked to him like literally almost every day. Almost every day I talked to him. I spent like years almost every day talking to that man. He has a sugar mama? No, he just has a mama. If his sugar mama means his mother, then yes. It's been a while though. Back then, that's what it was. I don't know if he's still in that situation, but I'll tell you, man. That man got problems. And somebody told me he stopped drinking. I press X for doubt. Because somebody's like, yeah, he stopped drinking. I was like, well, good. I hope that's good. Because I remember somebody telling me that he tried to reach out to some people to reconcile. But he will never reconcile with me. Fuck him wholeheartedly. He will never reconcile with me. Ever. I will never reconcile with him. Because the way he treated me, especially towards the end, like he can go fuck himself. Because he made it very clear that he was more about making money than he was about loyalty and friendship. And I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that at all. So that's why I'm like, I'm all set. I will air out all his dirty laundry. I don't give a fuck. Because he deserves it. He deserves it for how he treated me, how he's treated the fans, how he's treated people. He deserves to be exposed for that. And when I get Blake on, I'll me more than happily will expose his ass. You know, I won't say that Chris screwed fans over like that, right? I won't say he screwed fans over like that. He's not that level bad like that. But the way he talked about some fans was pretty like kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. You know, what he really thought about the fans is wild. You know, y'all are just numbers to him. Y'all are just money to him. That's basically what it comes down to. He'll never screw y'all over, but y'all are just money to him. You know, he was so mad, man. I'm telling you, I called him out too. I was like, yo, why are you mad that you're not making money at an anime convention? You're a Power Ranger actor at an anime convention. A lot of anime fans are there for anime shit, video games. Your Power Rangers is not, especially your season, is not like the thing. Um, and let me tell you, it was so. I know this is gonna sound mean, and fuck him, I'm gonna be petty, but like at the AFO, right, that anime convention in Orlando, right, he was so bad at how small his panel was, right? Because he had a solo panel where the fans would come in. There was not a lot of people there. Okay, there's not a lot of people there. He was pissed about it, right? And then they were gonna do a con with him and Hillary Shepard, right, who played the Diva Talks in the movie of Power Ranger Turbo, right? So Chris and Hillary Shepard were gonna do a panel together, right? And I don't know why, but for some reason they threw in Ruben Langdon. And for those of you who don't know, Ruben Langdon is he has a company which does a lot of work with Japanese video game companies where he does like the mocap, he does the filming of certain scenes. He worked on Devil May Cry. He's more known for his role in Devil May Cry. Okay. So Ruben Langdon was at this convention, obviously, for Devil May Cry. Okay. And when he saw Chris, he recognized him. And he's like, oh shit, hey, you remember me? And Chris had no idea who he was. Chris had no idea who he was. He's like, I was one of the suits on your season. And what they mean by suits on the season means he was the actor. He was one of the people who was just in the suits for fight scenes, because Ruben Langdon also is a martial artist and he does a lot of choreography work. So Ruben did some choreography work in Power Rangers in Space. So he was one of the suits on his season, and he recognized Chris right away. And he came over and they got to talking. And now, because the Power Ranger panels weren't popping enough, they added Ruben Langdon to the panel to talk Power Rangers, which also Chris was not very much a fan of. But for the record, that panel had a lot more people in them seats than he did on his solo panels. Right, the suit actors didn't get a lot of love either. But yeah, Ruben Langdon was a suit actor, and he was so sweet. Oh my god, I loved him. He was so cool in person. We talked so much. Oh, he was so nice. Very healthy man, by the way. Very healthy man. We were talking about like water and how clean he eats and drinks and stuff. He was so sweet. Oh, I love Ruben Langdon. He was oh my god, he is such a sweet guy. But yeah, Chris was not too thrilled that they added another person to the panel. I think they did it because they knew that Chris's panels were kind of lacking, so they wanted to have more people come in. But yeah, it was pretty sad. I'm gonna lie, it's pretty sad. Just randomly. And the only reason why, the funny thing is, the only reason why that Chris and Hillary were even booked at that convention is because the convention runner was a fan of Power Rangers. That's the only reason why. He was just he was a fan. So it was pretty kind of crazy because yeah, Chris did not make as much money as he wanted to from his own personal sales. Like, so guys, for you guys who don't know, to educate y'all a little bit, when actors go to conventions, or any guest, right? Any guest goes to a convention, they get an appearance fee, right? And then those appearance fees, usually it comes with the convention owners pay for travel, they pay for your room, and then they give you a set rate to be there. That all goes into the package of your appearance, right? Your appearance fee and your traveling expenses and your hotel accommodations. That's all they pay for, right? And that's what Chris got. He got all three of those things, by the way. And then you get additional money from selling your own merchandise and autographs and pictures, right? So Chris got paid his appearance fee. His expenses were paid for travel. He was put up in a hotel. And he complained that he didn't make enough money from his merchandise sales. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but you still walked out of there with a couple, like, you know, with like whatever he made for the appearance fee. And he also had his travel and hotel paid for. I think that kind of counts as like a win. But he was so mad that he did not make a lot of money from autographs and pictures and stuff. And then on top of that, mad because his panels weren't popping. Because you're a Power Ranger from the 90s at an anime convention. I told him that. Oh, he was very grateful. He didn't want us to give free merch to fans for working on Street Team. he was very much against that. We're like, well, Chris, you were having these people work for free. They're, well, it doesn't take a lot, much for them to like type something on their thing. And so I'm like, right, but like, it's still a good gesture. It's a good faith gesture. Like, they're here for you. They're here to help you. And now you don't want to give them free merchandise. Is crazy to me. And mind you, it wasn't even coming out of his pocket. It wasn't coming out of his pocket. It was coming out of me and Blake's pocket. Me and Blake spent more money on Chris and Chris for free. We worked for free. We were paying money to help him out. And he's saying, no, we can't give away free merchandise to fans. That's crazy. Though those shirts with the friggin' Red Raiders logo, we were gonna give those away for free. Seeing them selling those t-shirts infuriates me so fucking much because we wanted to do that for fans for free. Those were never supposed to be sold. We weren't going to sell them. Chris wanted us to sell them. We said, no, they're for the fans. These are supposed to be exclusive for fans who join the street team. And the more people who join the street team, the better, because that means we can try to promote you on all these guest appearances and shit. But, he didn't want it. He wanted to sell them, and now they are. He's very greedy. That's what I mean. Like, I care about the fans. I genuinely care about the fans. Him, not so much. They wanted to get JDF level treatment, but didn't want to put the work he did to get there, right? And again, I told y'all he was very much, he hated Jason David Frank, talked mad shit about Jason David Frank because he thought Jason David Frank was blocking him from conventions, which wasn't even true. I talked to Francis about it. He had said, oh, Jason, we talked to the convention. They said they couldn't book us because Jason David Frank's coming in his contract. There can't be any other Power Ranger actors here. Fuck him. He's blocking me from conventions. He's fucking me. He's fucking me on my money. Exact words. Again, when Blake comes on, he will tell you that did happen because Blake was on a lot of those conversations we had. He was on those calls. Some actors will want to work with Team JDF people out of their spite for him. But you're right, which is crazy because, like, I love Jason David Frank. I was a fan of Jason David Frank, right? I would have loved to work with Team JDF on that. That's why I messaged Francis about it. I said, Francis, Chris is saying he can't go to this convention because he blocked. Is Jason blocking actors? She said, no. She said, that's not what's happening. I think they just didn't want Chris because at that point, Chris had a reputation. Chris had built himself a reputation. The booking agent for Chris that I had gotten into it said the same thing to us. When me and that booking agent got into it, she said, hey, we're trying to clear up his reputation. He's got a bad reputation right now. And booking him for cons is hard. His booking agent explained that she was having trouble booking him because we asked, because he was fighting with us, because we were fighting with his booking agent. And we're sitting here telling him, bro, why are you fighting with us? Well, you guys are getting into it with my booking agent. One, because your booking agent is overstepping her bounds with us. We're running your street team. She wants to take it over. She wants her people to run the street team. We've been doing this before she came out. Why are you wanting her to run shit? He's like, well, she's not going to run shit. I still want you guys to do it. Okay, so why don't you tell your agent that? And then he's like, well, she's trying to book me for cons. You guys can't be fighting with my booking agent. I'm like, but she's not booking you for cons, bro. She got you one convention. You haven't been to a con in months. What is she doing? Right? And we said that to him. And then when we, and she wanted to talk to me because I was the more vocal one in the group, right? I'm sitting here being the most vocal like I am. And she's like, well, he has a bad reputation. It's hard to book him for conventions. That's why they didn't want him. They didn't want him because he had a bad reputation because his previous booking agent and him were getting in fights at conventions because they were dating, right? So they didn't want him there. But he blamed that on Jason David Frank. And then he said, well, fuck Jason David Frank. He did a whole ass live stream a long time ago. I wish it was still up, but I made him delete it because I was still, working with him at the time. Obviously, I'm smart. Delete that shit, right? So he does a live stream drunk as shit with one of his fans, right? He did a live stream with one of his fans. Shit-faced, talking match, fuck Jason David Frank. He literally said that, fuck Jason David Frank, right? I said, boy, you take that shit down right the fuck now. What the fuck is wrong with you? I said, take that shit down. What the fuck are you doing? And he took it down. Francis knows about that too, because I told her. Francis knows. The stream ain't up, but Francis knows because I told her about it. I told her about it right away. I said, yo, I can't with this dude. I can't with this dude. He said that about Jason David Frank because one of the conventions he wanted to go to told him that he couldn't go. And he had said because Jason David Frank blocked him from going to the convention. That's why. That's why he said that. So he was mad that Jason was blocking him from making money. So he had said, fuck Jason David Frank. And then like shortly after that, like now all of a sudden he goes to a convention where Jason's at, and now he's all buddy with them. Saw those pictures and I was immediately pissed off. I was like, not too long ago, you was on live stream saying, fuck this man, and you over here buddying with him. He dies and you making this whole heartfelt my brother fucking post, and you literally fucking accused him of blocking you from making money. That's crazy. Well, not yes. I don't even care. I'll say his name now. Fuck it. I'll say his name. Fuck it. I don't even care. Because I'm getting Blake on. I'm getting Blake on. If I can get the other dude on, oh, that's just gonna be icing on the cake, y'all. That's gonna be icing on the cake. Because that dude, the other dude I'm talking about, he was the longest one who rocked with him. Right? So after me and Chris had our falling out, I left. Blake stayed, the other person stayed, worked with him and shit. Eventually Blake dipped out because, you know, Chris ended up fucking him over pretty bad. And then the other dude stayed on with him the longest to help him work on the shattered grid shit. And then he got fucked over and then he fucked off. So if I can get that third dude on, ooh, that dude got some stories too, man. When they reached out to me, they said, I'm sorry. I said, why y'all saying sorry? They're like, sorry, we let all that happen. I was like, you didn't let shit happen. Okay. I let a lot of that shit happen because I should have cut him loose a long time ago, but I actually cared about him. But I should have cut him loose a long time ago. Nobody owes me an apology. But they felt bad because they knew he was doing me dirty, right? They knew he was doing me dirty, but they stayed with him. I said, I don't blame y'all for staying with him. Like, maybe y'all thought you were gonna get somewhere with that. That's fine if you did, but like now you know exactly what I went through because you went through it yourself. You know, that's hilarious. It's pretty believable. He said he wanted to bend you over only because I myself have used that line in the past. It's an icebreaker. It's not even the fact that he said he wanted to do that, right? It's not that said he wanted to do that. It's the fact that he said that on a three-way conversation with another person listening in. That's for me where I was like, yo, you need to chill. You know, because a conversation with me, like I have very lax boundaries, right? So I know Popcorn Fart, you met me through the Andy Signor shit, right? So for me, like that's why I pressed on the Andy stuff, right? Because for me, it's like, yes, there are some times where women will not say shit they should. They do not set their boundaries, and that's not 100% on the dude's fault. But there's like another for me when you are a public figure, when you're a big content creator, or if you're a friggin' celebrity, and you kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's thrown at you doesn't mean you always should take it, you know, because that's why you get yourselves in trouble type shit. But like, for me, I don't care about that. I will never me too a dude, right? Because I know myself. I know I entertain conversations that I shouldn't, but I still entertain it. So I can't put fault on a dude if I don't say no directly. That's my personal shit. I would never me too nobody. I'm not trying to me too Chris either when it comes to that. I'm not calling him a creep or anything like that. Like, yeah, does he, you know, get a little too much for some of the females? Yeah, a little bit, but like, you know, they don't say no, so I'm not gonna say he's a creep on that one. But like, like I said, we got some stories, y'all. We got some stories, y'all. I'm gonna save the best for last. What happened? I'm missing something. Oh, okay. It tracks with how I've seen clips of him drunk as fuck and talking to many fans at parties and stuff. Yeah, yep. That's him, man. That's him, man. That's him. That is Chris. 100%. All day. All he did was drink. All he did was drink. But it is what it is. Man, I'm all excited now. I'm like, I can't wait to get Blake on. That's gonna be so fun. Yeah. I both have said that about Jason, though. I do remember Chris's drunk stream too. He gets trashed a lot. Do you remember the stream he did with one of his fans? Where he's bad mouthing Jason? Cause yeah, that happened. That definitely happened. Yeah. If I say I want to bend you over, if she grins wickedly, it's a green light. Laughs nervously, pull back, gets pissed, run. Okay, so you guys do remember those shit. See? I'm telling you, that shit happened. That shit happened. That shit happened. He was laying down. It was weird too. They were laying down, right? Him and this dude. It was a young looking man with long hair. And I don't remember his username, but I remember we used to talk about how he had a lord title because he bought some land in like Ireland or something. So he was a lord, right? So I remember that was the dude he did the stream with where he said fuck Jason David Frank, and they were laying down on like a couch or something, both head to head. And I remember the kid had long hair. He was a cute kid. I wouldn't say he's a kid. He's a kid compared to me, but like he was young. And his name was like Lord something. But well, his name was something else, but we always called him Lord because again, he bought land, so he had the title of Lord. So that was an ongoing joke with him. But that's who he was with when he did that stream. And yeah, you're talking about Shayla. Oh yeah, I could even get Shayla on. I actually can. I still have contact with Shayla too. I can get all these people on, man. I can get all these people on. Matter of fact, let me see. Hold on. Let me see actually. I can show you proof of how we tried to because I came across it. It's still up. It's still up on Facebook. I came across it on Facebook when me and Shayla got on a live stream on Facebook and was talking about all this shit. And Chris shut that down because, in fairness, Shayla also had a bad reputation because, she was getting into it with Chris at conventions and he had told people stories and stuff. And she also kind of built a bad rep in the community as well with some of the other actors. But what she was saying on that stream was true. Like that shit was all true. I was on that stream with her. We talked about it together. I gotta see if I can find it though. That Facebook live stream is still up. I know it's still up. I know it's still up because I came across it not too long ago. So I gotta see if I can find that. Actually, I think I did find it, and I might have sent it to Henry a long time ago, but Henry don't care about that. And no, I'm pretty sure I sent it to Henry. Yeah, no, I did too. I tried to warn people about Chris a long time ago. It's sad because I really did care about him. I thought he cared about me. I thought we were very close. I thought we were friends. I genuinely loved him. But he only cared about the money and having sex with me, I guess. I gotta see if I can find it. Let's see. I might have to go to Facebook. Hold on. Damn, we really diving in. Didn't he also kiss his sister in a movie? Yes, he did. He talked about that, about how they were just doing a job. Let me see. Oh my god, I can't type. Let's see. Videos maybe. Yep, here it is. I was here. This is the one I was here for. Well, no, this is the convention. It's called the Anime Festival Orlando, AFO. This was in 2016. This is a video that they posted when they went there. I was there for that. Hang on, let me see.
Right now we're at AFO. Well, we're not actually at AFO. We're in our hotel room, but we're here for AFO. So that's what we're doing here. And
This is where I met
we've
them.
had a great day so far, even though the convention hasn't actually started. Um, we got to sit down and talk with somebody for how long do you think we talked to him?
About an hour or so.
Yeah, about an hour or so. We got to sit down and talk with Eric Stewart. Now, some of you may sit there and you might say, Eric Stewart.
I don't
I
even
don't know
remember
that
this. I wasn't
name
there.
off the top of my head. Okay. With our last convention at Stockton Con, we got to meet
Yeah.
a lot
So
of
that was a long time ago. That's when I met them.
actors.
But let me see if I can find
and
the stream I did with her. This is Shayla, by the way.
pro
Let me see if I can find the stream that I did with Shayla. When we were trying to talk about all the shit I'm telling you guys about this. Cause yeah. Yeah. This is bringing back some memories. Let me tell you. Maybe I have to type in Shayla's name. Man. I know it's still on that page. That's the thing that's bothering me. Is like I know it's still there. I just don't remember how I came across it. But it did happen. And I would like to. And I was on camera too, and I was so much bigger, guys. Like this is 2006. I was a big girl. So I just want to point out I was a big girl before I find it. Oh man. I can't find it. That's crazy. That's gonna kill me because like I know it's there. I'm gonna have to go to Shayla's page. See if it's there. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure she left it up because she definitely wanted to call him out for a lot of the mostly for their bad relationship, but like she knew all like the dirt. the dirt. Oh my goodness, she posts so much. Girl, I'm gonna need you to like stop posting so much about your adventures. We're 3 years back, guys. I gotta get all the way back because I really want to show y'all this. I really do want to show y'all this, just so y'all know that, like, because I know me saying it, because everyone be like, "Well, you don't have proof. You don't have proof." Like I said, I don't have physical evidence of a lot of the shit I'm talking about because a lot of it had happened in call conversations. Any DMs I had were on an old Facebook account that I think I might have just deleted because I just wanted to be done with it, which was kind of dumb. But I never expected that any of this would need to be brought back up because I just cut my losses. I figured I lost. There was no need to even say nothing because no one was listening. Everyone was still sucking the farts out of Chris's ass. So I just didn't feel. I felt defeated, right? So I just gave up. So I had deleted everything because I just wanted to move away from it. But I always still held on to it because like the way it's still fucked up. Like it's fucked up when somebody does you dirty and you just see them continuously win. Like, bro, like how? But let me see. Man, it's killing me right now because I don't know where it is. The stream me and Shayla did talking about it. Damn, so long ago. Okay, we're getting back to like. Okay, we're getting back to her time with Chris. All right, so I need to go up a little bit. Let me see. All right, I'm getting there. I think I might. Hopefully, it's on her page here, because I know she had a couple pages. She had 2 pages. I just don't know. Which one? Yeah, I'll have to dig for it, guys, because it definitely was something I did with her. We did a whole stream about the situation. Excuse me. 8 years ago. Hold on, is this one? I'm trying to see if this video. Sorry for the silence, the dead air. Oh, her audio ain't even working in this one. Like I said, I'll find it, man. If one of you guys are better at finding stuff, it's definitely on Facebook. I know we did a Facebook live stream about it. Hold on, let's see. One more search. One more search. Oh yeah, and here's proof, guys. Again, remember, keep in mind I was so much bigger back then. Don't come from my fatness, okay? And here's more proof that I'm telling the truth. I met them and this all happened, right? This is us. This is us together. When we went to the convention, this is me and Shayla together, my fat ass. So this is the post because we had a falling out and then we got to be friends again. But yeah, this is me and Shayla, and this is when I first. And you can see Chris's poster in the background. This is at AFO, and this is where I first met Chris and first met them. Okay, so there's like I said, I'm not lying, not making this up, not making it up. You know what I'm saying? Man, you look cute in the picture. Thank you. But yeah, I'm not making it up. Oh, found it. I fucking found it. October 23rd, 2018. It says please listen in its entirety. I don't think I came on this one though. Was this the one I came on? Yes, I did. I did come on this one. It's an hour long. We're not gonna watch all of it, but here it's right here. I found it. Fucking yes. I found it. Okay, so this is back in 2018 when all this shit happened, the falling out with Chris and everything. And this is Shayla telling, like I said, this was us trying to tell
Because
what happened.
it's like if I know I didn't do something wrong, then I shouldn't have to say anything. So I kind of just let it roll on and carry on, and I kept doing me and was still doing what I'm doing as far as my career and things like that, since having surgery and everything. So there's going to be 2 segments to this. The first one is going to be about the rumors about me as far as me being a thief and me stealing money and things like that. Those accusations that have been going around.
And that was what I told you guys about, right? That's what I told you guys about in regards to the Justin Nemo shit. This was what this was about.
Around for, I want to say 3 years now. And like I said, I kind of just kept away from it. Not really paid any mind to it because, like I said, I know I didn't do it, so I don't really need to say anything or to feed into it. So here's the deal. I've been contacted by promoters, convention promoters, by clients, by fans, by pretty much everybody on social media and anything having to do with the entertainment industry. So about the rumor about me taking money from my clients when I attend these conventions and things like that. So there's always 2 sides to every story, and you guys have only been getting one side from it. And like I said, I'm only doing this because my clients said, you know what, Shayla, it's time for you to stand up for yourself. I have a big support system right now that's behind me on this. I've got lawyers. It's just like so much going on top of my healing process for my surgery. So just bear with me. So to make a long story short, a lot of you know my ex, Christopher came in lead. He played the Red Ranger in Power Rangers in Space, and his little friend Justin Nemo. At one point, Chris and I were in a relationship, and I was his agent, as well as Justin Nemo. I never really went public about why Chris and I broke up.
Before we get into this, I just want to say, before Shayla, Chris wasn't doing cons, and neither was Justin Nemo. So when Shayla convinced Chris to start doing conventions, she became his agent because she was the one who convinced him to go and was booking conventions for him. And then when Chris and Justin started talking again, he's like, hey, Shayla's been getting me all these conventions. You should let her do this for you too. And that's why she was booking for Justin Nemo at the time.
People were asking, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep it as professional as I can and just make a short post on Facebook, and hopefully, it'll be left alone. So the truth is, Chris and I broke up. And I really, so just bear with me. So Chris and I broke up because Chris, when I was with him, he's an alcoholic, and he was very abusive, physically, emotionally. And
I can confirm what she's saying is true, because when I met them at AFO, we went to the liquor store, right? Went to the liquor store. And while we were at the liquor store, Chris was buying all of us, whatever we wanted, myself included. Me and Shayla were by ourselves while Chris was browsing. And she just randomly hit me with the whole, he hit me. And I'm just like, girl, what am I supposed to do with this information? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? How, what do you mean, right? And mind you, she stayed with him afterwards, and she was always telling me, and knowing how Chris talked to me, verbally abusive. Oh, I can see it. But yeah, she told me when we first met, that did happen, and Chris had confirmed that there was one time he did strike her. So yeah,
and verbally. The relationship lasted for about a year and a half. It was so bad with him. Like, I stayed in it because I thought that he could change. And, I thought he really cared for me as much as I put so much time and effort and soul into the relationship with him.
Which, again, is true. We all dealt with Chris's shitty behavior for a long time because we, figured, maybe one day he would, get his shit together.
Yeah. He didn't want to change. He didn't think he was an alcoholic. People had warned me before I got with him about it, and I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't really care. I was with him for him, not because he was an actor and this and that. I didn't really care about any of that. So make a long story short, he got so dead drunk one night, and I was just so tired of it. It was just so bad. And a lot of people on here, the fans, people know the situation about my relationship with him, and I've asked some of you not to talk about it or say why we broke up, but I'm going to tell you why Chris and I broke up. He's an alcoholic, and he's abusive, and he's very sick. When he and I broke up, I decided that I would still.
Yes, she was a fan. She was a fan. She was a fan. I was just gonna be honest with that. She was a fan. She was a fan.
Represent him. I would still book him for shows. He was like,
oh wait, hold on, y'all. Sorry, pause. So here's the thing. Normally, I mean, I let you talk and stuff, but you still kind of running your mouth, sir. You still kind of running your mouth, sir. So I think you can see yourself out. You can see yourself out, Rican. You can see yourself out. Because you stay still lying on my name, and I'm all set with you, bruh. Thanks for making me money, though. Thanks for continuing making me money, though. But you can see yourself out. Shay, you can do the honors. You can do the honors. Don't nobody touch him but Shay. Shay is the only one who can do it. Shay, if you would do the honors, if you could do the honors and take out the trash, I would appreciate you, girl, if you could do that for me. Take out the trash, thank you. Bye, Rican. Keep posting some shit. Keep posting your shit. Shay, if you don't want to do it, I'll happily do it for you. Yep. Bye, Rican. Don't come back now. You heard? Don't come back now, you hear? Anyways, let's continue. It was not nice seeing him. Anyways, let's continue.
Priority. He was getting booked left and right shows. You know, if you guys remember, me and him were doing all this traveling, you know, to Comic Cons every weekend. So he was staying busy. So when I decided to leave, it was he got so mad drunk one night. I was like, okay, this is my opportunity to really leave. I packed my things. I while he was laying there, I packed my things. I got in the car and I left the state. I drove to Las Vegas. Had no clue where I was going. All I know is I'm his mother. You know, she'd been trying to tell me to get away from him, that he's no good, you know, and he's very abusive to his mom. Like I lived with him for a year and a half. I know how he is, and he, you know, just he's not a good person. So the way he treated me is the way he treated his mom, put it like that. So anyway, so I left, whatever. We had a show that was coming up, and I said, okay, since we're no longer together, then I expect you to start paying me, you know, a fee or whatever. And that was the agreement.
She was not at the one I went to with them. The one that I went to, it was just Chris and Hillary Shepard.
He was fine with it. He held animosity against me because when he woke up, he left, you know, and I'm like, I'm just tired. I'm like, you know, I can't do this no more, whatever. So we had a show, and at that show, he decided that he did not want to pay me. So I was kind of very upset because I took time off work, and I took time off work, you know.
Oh, that was right.
To a different state to do this, to not get compensated. So I was very upset. So there was another show that we did that I had booked him for, along with Justin, and then another name I'm not going to say. And
Catherine Sutherland. It was Catherine Sutherland.
With that one, I had set up a meet and greet. Of course, the payment was collected. It was sent, you know, to my business PayPal. I have track record of every payment that came in, everybody that paid, everything matched up, you know, and so, you know, I put the money 3 ways. But I felt at that time that, okay, Chris owed me compensation for the show that we didn't do. So I told Chris, I said, I'm going to take this compensation that you owe me from the prior event, and then I'm also going to take I told him that he didn't have to pay me for this event, but I did want payment for setting up the meet and greet that was separate from the show. So he wasn't very happy about it and didn't care. So just decided that he was going to take some of his cut that he made from that show and then from the meet and greet and give it to him. I didn't tell Justin to do that. He did that on his own free will.
Yep.
Justin shouldn't have even been in the conversation in the first place. So Justin did take his portion and give it to Chris. Next thing you know, I get a message from Justin, and Justin said, you know, I gave him that because I feel bad for him. Can you just pay me back that? I said, no, I'm not going to pay you. I said, I'm not going to double pay you. I said, Chris owed me for a show. I got my money. I got my money. I collected it from this meet and greet thing. I got it. And then on top of that, 10% for the meet and greet. And then I paid Nemo. And then.
So there, the story I just told you, right? So I got to see where I come up, because I come up in this, because I was involved too. Because I got message from Justin. And by the way, Justin, after this situation, me and Justin talked out. Me and Justin are good. Like, we don't talk a lot, but like, Justin is a sweet man. Like I said, he did this because he felt bad. He was trying to, again, his intentions were good. But yeah, it got messy. But Justin's a sweet guy. I have nothing bad to say about Justin outside of this specific situation. Justin Nebo is a very sweet man. He's just a normal dude. Like, I love Justin Nemo. Like, as of today, I adore Justin Nemo. He just recently won his battle against cancer. He's doing well, as last I heard. But yeah, Justin Nemo, after this, I don't remember what I said during this, not gonna lie, that's why I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But I talked to Justin Nemo after all this. Me and Justin Nemo have been fine. He is very sweet. If you guys have a chance to meet Justin Nemo, definitely encourage y'all. I don't think he's going to be doing cons for a bit because he just, again, fought cancer. But if he does do cons appearances again, 100% recommend Justin Nemo as somebody to meet and give your money to, because he definitely is a very sweet guy, like very good to his fans. He's just a really cool dude. I can't gush over Justin Nemo enough. And he still looked good, by the way. He still looked good. You know, he still looked good. Nah, here's the thing. The goal isn't to make you hate these people. It's just so you know, like, what you know, if you don't care about this stuff, then you don't care. Then there's no love lost if you still care about these actors. I'm trying to get to where I come into the conversation. I'll post, if you guys want to watch this whole thing, there I am. If you guys want to watch this whole entire thing, because like I said, it's an hour and 6 minutes long. But
what I'm doing, you know, I know that I'm not doing anything wrong, and you guys see me working. I'm like, I'm working, I'm doing these shows, I'm booking left and right despite what's going on. So it's like, you guys just need to know that I'm not a con artist. I have never stolen money, because if I was, I wouldn't even have clients right now. Like, it's like I have the same clients that I've had for oh, hang on one second. How do I do this? Okay, hang on one second. Someone wants to join in. Hang on one second. Someone coming in that was close to Justin and Chris that kind of want to add on this. Should be coming up here. So. Hey, Desiree.
Hey. So, the reason why I want to go live is because...
And there's a few other people that want to come on and say something that have worked with Chris and Justin and that know about the situation as far as I'm being called a liar and a thief and this and that. So she was actually there when all this happened. So I'll let her comment on it.
Right. So, I've known Shayla for a long time. And some people actually might know who I am, because I used to run Christopher Camely's fan page. I had many names back in the day. Basically, the reason why I want to come live is because I did want to like address some of the stuff you were talking about, Shayla, especially the Justin Nemo thing. I understand Justin wanted to help or diffuse a situation. However, going as far as calling you a liar, I only know Justin because he, in his pursuit of chasing you, Shayla, for that money that you allegedly owed him, he contacted me because he knew I was very close with you. So when he contacted me, he had admitted, and I'm sure I can dig up conversations of this. He admitted that he gave the money that you sent him to Chris to, quote, shut him up, because he was, you know, they're friends. They were, you know, Chris was complaining. Again, I understand business. I understand the situation. However, Justin did get paid. That was confirmed by him that he did get the money. He gave it to Chris on the impression that Shayla was going to give the money that she was disputing with Chris to him. So in business, he was paid. What he did with that payment afterwards, that is 100% on him and not Shayla, unless there was an agreement that Shayla wanted to do it. So I just want to address that, because I'm at the point where it's sad that everyone has the same goal. There's agents, there's these clients, you all have the same goals. The promoters, when they do these events, you all have the same goals. You want to do something, earn money, it's a business. There should not be this much animosity, hostility, slander all over the place. You know, everyone's here for a reason. Everyone's here to make money. Everyone's here to enjoy events and fans. Everyone's losing sight of these goals. I'm a nobody. I'm literally nobody. I've never been a promoter. I've never been an agent. I've never been an actor. However, I've been more involved in this mess than I should be. And as far as Shayla's concerned, I've met Shayla personally. Shayla's not perfect. I just want to let everyone know she's not perfect. And as she said, she did just start doing the whole convention stuff, the whole client stuff. She was new at first. So everything people are saying now is back when she first started, when she was still learning. I can vouch for that. Right. There you go. That's basically what it comes down to. That's basically what it comes down to. Like I said, I was involved. I was involved in a lot of stuff. The things you catch when you pay attention fast. What did you catch? The name drop? I don't care. I don't even care anymore. My name is Sky. Remember that. My haters think my name is Sky. I don't really care if people know my first name at this point. I don't give a fuck. Dox myself. Don't give a shit. But That's like I said, this is proof right here that yeah, I was there, man. All the shit I'm saying, I was there. You're like Forrest Gump. I know, right? Run, Forrest, run. So there you go. There's proof right there that I was involved in all this. So when I say thank you, I do wear glasses. That's the thing. I do wear glasses. I just don't like taking pictures with glasses. That's why I don't like to be on streams either. I don't like my glasses. But yeah, that's proof. Everything I'm saying is true. There I am with Christopher Kamen Lee's very public ex-girlfriend. Okay. Put me on the show saying, hey, like, it even said, like, she was very close with Chris and Justin Nemo. And I only was close with Justin because, like I said, he contacted me to chase her down for money. I was there for all that. I was there for all that. So see, you were there. So you know who I am. You know who I am. You know that I ran Christopher Kamley's fan page. You know I had a presence there. You know about the street team. You saw those live streams exactly. If you remember this, and you know exactly that I'm telling the truth. Everything I'm saying is truth. You know, I might not have all the receipts. But I'm telling you right now. I have some. I have some that can tell you that I'm who I say I was. I am who I said I was. So there you go. Some people remember seeing this shit. Yes, yeah. And I'm happy. I'm so happy that some people remember this stuff, so they know that I'm telling the truth. So they know that I'm not just telling these stories or giving you guys my experience with this, and it's all bullshit because I'm bitter or anything. Like they know. And in time after I dipped out, people are saying in the chat, yeah, he hasn't changed. I remember, seeing him at this con and he was drunk. I saw him do a live stream. He was drunk. I saw these things, and and we tried to warn people. Back then, when Shayla started that whole stream, she was talking about her relationship with him and everything, and nobody listened to her. They always just saw that she was just painted as a crazy chick. And again, don't get me wrong, she has her reputation in the community. A lot of the actors don't there's some of the actors that don't like her. But yeah, it happened. All this shit's true. All this shit is true. I'd make an exception for Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell, I heard, is a really nice guy. So, man, the math is mathing. It feels refreshing to find other people who've been new. Yeah, yeah. It's y'all aren't crazy, but that's the problem. That is a problem with all these fans, like Rican Ranger, who came in the chat and got his ass banned for it. Like, fuck out of here, man. Y'all don't know. You didn't live it. You just see shit from the outside. We were inside. There was so much drama going on behind the scenes in that community. Like, again, the stories that you're going to hear when Blake gets on here will turn your heads, man. So Henry's getting the good stuff, man. Henry really deep diving because, again, all of these people went unchecked for so long that they just did what they had to do. That's what it comes down to. That's pretty much what it is. So, like I said, there's proof right there. There's proof right there that I was involved in all this Power Ranger drama shit. I wasn't the one who got involved with that situation. I was contacted by one of the actors. It happened. It happened. Yo, Popcorn Fox, you're wild for that comment. Would I let Bruce Campbell bend me over? Probably not. But I think I'd think about it. Yeah, well, either way, there you go. We went from talking about crazy ass fans of Power Rangers going at Henry to exposing Christopher Kamen Lee. What a stream, guys. What a show. What a show. What a show. That's wild. Oh man. Like, I don't, man, this is years ago, man. I never thought I'd see the day when people would actually listen and be like, oh yeah. Cause man, I'm telling you, we tried to let people know and nobody cared. Nobody wanted to hear us. Nobody listened. We were just whatever narrative people spun on us. That's just what it was, and it's kind of sad because a lot of people could have avoided a lot of things if they had just listened. But now we're here, and that is what it is. I always knew that Chris was one of the more rowdy of actors, but I didn't know to the extent. Not gonna support this that dude. Thanks for bringing it to light. Yeah, yeah. He's just he don't care about y'all as people. He cares about your money, and he's just he's not a nice person. He really isn't. He acts like it, but he's really not. If he was a nice person, he wouldn't have acted the way he did to the people who are doing nothing but supporting his ass. He'll always find new people to kiss his ass because he was Andros on Power Rangers in Space. That's the sad reality of it. Oh no, I'm sure, but like, I don't know. I know Blake Foster was I don't know if he still is, but he was definitely on that list of the most craziest people. Like he didn't get invited to cons. He lived the rock star lifestyle. Yeah, my favorite scary movie is The Shining. Yep. Mm. Sorry, I'm sipping water because reminiscing the past, and I'm like, I kind of get a little choked up because I'm like, yo, it's crazy how it has taken all this time. What you're I like this stream, but for some reason, all of the women here have far spacing between their eyes. Okay, okay, I'll take it. You know what? What I like the spacing between my eyes. It means I have wide range. I can see everything. It's just like sad because like now people are listening, and I just really wish they had listened back then. When I tell you I had breakdowns over all this drama, I had streams where I was crying. I was in tears crying over this shit because I just couldn't believe that people who I respected and thought were really amazing were just anything but. And man, I just go back to the days where I was doing that. Like I actually cared so much about that community and that fandom, and it broke my heart. Like really, it broke my heart. That's the thing that sucks. Like I loved. You guys have no idea how much I love that fan base. Um, I spent so much of my time, money, and effort into that man, only to just have it end the way it did, and then find out like, yeah, he's just objectively not a good person. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But man, yo, I don't know why like y'all coming in here at AltaCals, like do you not know I live for the attention with that? Like y'all giving me all this attention, it's just gonna make me more money. Like, do you guys not understand how this works at this point? It's getting to the point of sad. Like, just go away. Go talk about me on your friggin' like live stream panel podcast shit. Just go there. Stop wasting your time. Yes, nah, thank you. Honestly, well, thank you guys for listening. Honestly, thank you for sharing this and being vulnerable, Ray. Like you said, it's healing to find stuff being talked about now. Right, right. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you know, you look back on it and you're just like, damn, that actually did happen. That was part of my life. That was part of what I experienced, and it's crazy looking back on it because that's just what it was. Like I said, but I'll show you proof. I'll show you proof that yeah, I was in the trenches with everybody. I was in the trenches, you know? I was in the trenches. Andros hated on the goat. Yeah, he did do that. Yeah, I'll never go back to the fandom. I'll never do that. I'll never go back to that community. The closest I have to being part of the community is Henry's, where he has that Power Ranger section. That's about it. You are a Ray Ranger. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. I guess next stream, hopefully, if I can get him on tomorrow, we'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, that stream's gonna be definitely fire for sure. Will definitely be fire. Is that actually Strife though, or is that an alt account? The sad thing is, like, now we're back to where I have to deal with alt accounts. Like, I haven't had alt accounts come to this channel in so long. Now we're back to dealing with them, so I don't know who's real and who's not. Like, that's crazy. But anyways, y'all have a great rest of your day. My allergies kicking my ass, so oh, it's your gaming channel. Okay. I never know, man. We got a lot of alts coming in here all of a sudden, man. Some crazies, some loonies, some looney toonies. Like I said, Rican, I know you're still watching. Like, bro, you know I'm in Boston. You know where I'm at. You know where I'm at. Why don't you come say this to my face? Say it to my face. To put, like, tell me a time and place. I'll be there. I ain't got much going on right now. I'm unemployed. Like, let's go. Where you at? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know where you at. You so tough and so bold. You want to say this to my face? Say it to my face. I want to see if you have that same energy, but you won't because you scary. You scary, my dude. But anyways, y'all have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. And I'll see y'all, the rest of y'all in Discord. So yeah, with that said, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Let's get it, Rican. This is it, my friend. It's the last straw, the final frontier. This is the end, my friend. You've gone too far. You've gone too far. Rican Ranger, old enough to know better. Power Ranger, old enough to know better. Green Ranger, said you about to save the Power Rangers. He said he about to save the Power Rangers. And you've gone too far, living in a fantasy of lying, and you don't stop lying. Rican Ranger, old enough to know better. Power Ranger, old enough to know better. Green Ranger, said you about to save the Power Rangers. He said he about to save the Power Rangers. Yeah, you've gone too far, living in a fantasy of lying, and you don't stop lying. Yeah, Rican Ranger.